How do you build a brand when you're kind of having to build a brand by stealth? So you would love to tell people which members of the royal family are using your ice bath, right? It's guaranteed sales.
It would be amazing.
You would love to share photos of the pop stars. I mean, we read reports, Ed Sheeran's got a load of your ice baths. Whether that's true or not, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the kind of thing that if you could
comment on that.
But if you could put it on your website, that would be quite useful, right?
Yeah.
How do you build a brand when you can't tell people the huge names that are using your products?
Because you build it on purpose. You build it with a mission in mind and a clarity of what we're trying to do. And it's built really through building community.
Right.
And those are little signals because there is a community around those famous people that they talk to each other. We've recently shipped a unit to Jimmy Carr, and he's going to make us a little video and whatever. And then another comedian's got in touch about, I think I'd like one. I won't name his name because I don't know where that's going to go. But, the pockets, aren't they? So, and then when you're in with pop star royalty, well, there's a way. I trust that that's going to get us somewhere. And then some people are just great. Gary Barlow, he was very much. He just phoned. The phone rings and Gary Barlow was on the end of it, and he's like, "Well, I'd love to buy one," and he was really interested. Well, where are you? Where are you? What's this about? And I'd love one. And are you wanting a deal? No. I'll buy it. It's not a problem. And I'll give you a shout out. Don't worry about it.
What's the secret to working with high-profile people and getting it right, do you think?
Respect. I think respect. I think they're private. They're regular people, but they're private. They've a lot to lose. They don't want to be talked about. Respecting their space. We never leverage them.
I guess the most famous, publicly known person that uses your ice baths is Cristiano Ronaldo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could you just tell me where you were the moment that you found out he was using one of yours?
Well, I knew before he did because we'd kitted out Al Nasser's spa.
Yeah.
So it was. I didn't know we'd get the picture. But I knew that there are these elite level players go to Saudi, and so we'd supplied 4 units.
So Al Nasser contacted you just out of the blue?
Yeah. Part of a design project, and there was a guy running the design, and he got in touch on their behalf and said they want units. It's got to be beautiful. They want yours. They want single player. They don't want communal. It's got to be elite level. Think of it more like a luxury spa than, players stood in, wheelie bins or whatever. So we did that, and it was like, oh, cool. Just think, one of these is going to Cristiano Ronaldo, and we joked about it, and everyone's like kissing these eyes, having a bit of a laugh. And then one day it comes online. Then that's probably a year later.
Yeah. So where were you when you saw the photo of him?
We were in the office, and someone said, "You won't believe this." And they held up the phone, and he's there giving all this, isn't he? And it was an activation for another brand, actually. But they were talking about the effect of cold on his health, and he's talking about how he's referencing some data to do with his nervous system, effectively, in that post. And it was but for me, it was like, of course he is. Of course he is. I mean, some of the guys that we're not allowed to talk about are the ones that I think, wow.
So did you ever then get in touch with Cristiano and give him or do a deal with him for ice baths?
We tried. Yeah.
I know you love our ice baths. Call him again. No.
Yeah, we tried, but we don't. Again, if it's meant to be, it'll come back. So we sent a message and said, if it's ever of interest, we make them. And we left it at that. I'm not into that kind of pestering and being annoying. It'll come back round if it's meant to be.
And do you think that photo made a difference for your business?
Internally. Yeah, internally.
Because I think this is the thing that some businesses, they chase
it's
the celebrity thing, thinking it's going to transform our business.
Doesn't. No.
Explain.
Progress is what transforms the business, but the culture's fed by those little moments where people think emotionally, can you believe we made a unit in here that went out there and Cristiano's in it? And we've had that with other famous types, but they don't make a difference in and of themselves.
You did say that there are some people that use your product that if we knew about it, it would be transformational for you.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we're talking even more impactful than Cristiano right here.
Oh, yeah.
So why wouldn't you then say to those people, is there any chance that we can do a deal here and talk publicly about the fact you use?
Oh, just the sales process educated us that wouldn't be the case because, the NDAs come through,
right,
and the big documents to sign, and and some of that's very, very obvious. You're not allowed to film while you're on the premises. You're not allowed to disclose this address. very practical, very practical things. But in there is IP and rights, and where by paying for this product, we're agreeing that we own the product and it's not about a brand opportunity. And fair enough, but the NDAs coming in advance of sale are the telltale signs that it's probably not going to be where we can go.
I really like, though, the fact that while some brands are just chasing a name to endorse their product, whether they use the product or not, whether they love the product or not, they just want the endorsement. Whereas you're basically you're swimming against the tide here.
Yeah, we say no. We say no. So we turned down only this week one of the most popular podcasts on the planet, and said individual said, for free. So we said, yeah, sure. What's the exchange? What's the trade around that we could talk about? Oh no, it would be a gift. But we'll probably, I might do. So I said, no, I've learned over the years that that's a fast way to, lose another 15 grand. I'll not see again. Whereas I'll give you an example. If I spend that same money and I build one that goes to the community in Tadcaster Pool, where we are, and the community get to use it, that's far more rewarding. So all the amateur triathletes are in there, the swimmer, and then people understand the brand that serves them, and it's there this is donated. We run it, we give them it and run it for free. I'd rather do that. I'd rather show up at an event like Joe Wicks, where a number of people get to try a cold water immersion for the first time and talk to them about it.
But you're a branding expert, right? You come from a branding background.
Yep.
And really what we're talking about now is that the well-known faces and names, most of whom are not even able to be mentioned, right, are actually valuable for you for your internal culture rather than for your external brand.
Absolutely, yeah. And they're also lovely for the external. So the Instagram followers would enjoy seeing the Cristiano, because it's validation, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's validation. I think they're cool as well, and Cristiano thinks they're cool, and that's great. But yeah, in and of itself, it's relatively
vanity metrics.
Yeah.
If I asked you to picture AI in action, I reckon you'd think of a large language model or something that you think optimizes your own personal productivity. But have you stopped to think about the impact that AI actually has on the big industries? Industries like aviation, manufacturing, construction, and energy. I've been working with IFS for years. I know them really well. I've seen the impact up close and personal, and I'm so proud that they're partnering with Room Where It Happened on this show. And if you're like me and your business deals with assets and you want to deliver the very best class service to your people and your customers, please check them out at ifs.ai.